The whereabouts of Ben Tyner, who went missing from a BC ranch, are still unknown to this day. Ben, who was 32 at the time, left a ranch near Merritt, BC on January 26, 2019. The Wyoming man was last seen riding his horse east from Nicola Ranch, which he had been managing for 3 months prior to his disappearance. He was reported missing after his riderless horse was found roaming the countryside on January 28th on a logging road off Highway 97 near Winnie Flats in Merritt. Ground searchers were assisted by RCMP dogs and helicopters. Ben Tyner was the manager of the Nicola Ranch about 300 kilometers northeast of Vancouver, BC. Much of the information in this video has been obtained from the audio podcast True North True Crime, number 11, Missing Ben Tyner. I really can't emphasize enough how helpful and how much information this couple gathers and presents in a clear and concise and professional manner. Please check out verbal.com. That's VURBLE.com. True North True Crime. Ben Tyner was born in Florida in 1987, and his parents moved to Wyoming and bought a ranch. Ben always dreamed of becoming a cowboy and eventually ended up going to university to study animal production. He then went on to work at a ranch in New Mexico called the San Cristobal and the Square Butte Grazing Association in Montana. In 2011, Ben moved to Bryansk, Russia to become a manager at a meat packing company. His contract had him making multiple trips between Russia and the United States for 2 years between 2011 and 2013. After his job in Russia was over, he became a farm manager for the Texas A&M University Agricultural Program in Commerce, Texas. He also held a position as a range rider for the Wild Horse Cattle Association in Mackay, Idaho. Just before moving to Merritt, BC, he lived on his family's ranch as caretaker of the ranch after his father was injured. Ben was also a leather artist. His favorite way to unwind was to create leather gun holsters, leather leggings, and bullwhips. When he has downtime, he is still busy making chaps, spurs, and various other riggings. Friends and family describe Ben as a rugged, friendly, gentle giant that is reliable, dependable, and would often drop everything to help friends in need. Others describe him as a true American cowboy and a very fine young man, quiet and reserved, very mannerly, and takes real pride in what he does. He was also available to help out neighbors and friends during branding season, or if someone needed a horse trailered. He was also described as solid and strong. Ben jumped at the chance to work at the Nicola Ranch in British Columbia, Canada. He found it to be a prime opportunity to learn and have adventure and a new way of seeing things. Merritt, the city that caught Ben's attention, and the Nicola Ranch, where he worked as a ranch manager, is in the heart of the Nicola Valley in the interior of British Columbia, Canada. It is 3.5 hours driving from Vancouver, BC. The Nicola Ranch is in the top 10 largest ranches in Canada. The vice president of the ranch is John Liu. When Ben was hired for the manager position at Nicola Ranch, he brought along his 3 horses and 2 dogs and his truck and trailer and was excited for a new adventure. The next chapter of his life was about to begin. He lived on the ranch as part of a salary negotiation. At 5:30 a.m. on Monday, January 28, 2019, a group of loggers found Ben's horse on the side of a logging road near Squacum Ridge. They called up a local tracker named Kim Robinson that came up and was able to gather the horse and get him trailered. The RCMP were notified and the horse was quickly identified as Ben Tyner's. Ben had weekends off and was expected to be at work for Monday. Ben had mentioned to his colleagues that he was eventually going to head out to search for stray cattle, but not necessarily on that particular weekend or on his days off at all. Ben was confirmed as being seen at 2 p.m. on Saturday the 26th, but the RCMP have not released as to where he was last seen. So Ben was last seen 2 p.m. Saturday and his horse was spotted at 5:30 a.m. on Monday. Ben's horse had no injuries. It did not show signs of an animal attack. It did not have spur marks, which would indicate a rough ride. The rigging was perfect, although one of the reins were missing. Kim Robinson described the situation as follows. I found the riderless saddled horse and it was missing a rein, but otherwise had good rigging on it. The horse was understandably a bit spooked, but I managed to calm it down and tie it to a tree. He went and fetched other local ranchers that confirmed it did indeed belong to Ben Tyner. The office manager at Nicola Ranch confirmed that the horse was returned in good condition with nothing to indicate that it had been attacked. Something might have scared it, but there was no blood, no spur marks, or scratches. It is a very gentle horse. The only thing missing was its one rein. The RCMP and local search and rescue teams from around Merritt and the lower mainland sprung into action because finding a riderless horse and the cold weather in January made them want to find Ben as soon as possible. It was initially assumed that Ben was separated from his horse and lost somewhere. Nicola Valley, Kamloops, Shuswap, Central Okanagan, Penticton, Princeton, Logan Lake, Chilliwack, and Surrey each sent search and rescue teams. 40 search and rescue members, along with dog services, snowmobiles, and air support. Tracy Dunsmore, RCMP constable from Merritt, said that the received support was tremendous. Dunsmore stated that it is very unusual for a seasoned cowboy to be separated from his horse. Drones were deployed, as well as numerous ranchers on horseback. Staff from a lumber mill and the Lower Nicola Indian Band were also in on the search. Police stated that due to active logging and herds of wild horses, finding Ben's tracks have been hindered. Members of the public are being asked not to participate in the search, as it may interfere in search and rescue efforts. I always find this odd that the police discourage public searchers. From my research, I always find that the public searching covers extensive ground, and it is more often than not a member of the public that finds the missing individual. The RCMP are baffled as to why Ben's horse was found where it was found, and they have no idea where Ben could have been going. The main area that was searched was Squawcum Ridge, but it is so vast that more searching was recommended. The RCMP began to believe that Ben couldn't have made it as far as where the horse was actually located without help, so they began asking around if anyone had maybe trailered him up there. Ben's parents and his brother arrived in Merritt to help with the search. His parents went up by helicopter to survey the area. Ben's brother went out on horseback with the dogs to search. Jack, Ben's brother, found the broken rein, assumed to be from Ben's horse, lying on the ground. After 7 days of searching, the search was postponed because of the bad weather. Ben's family loaded up his horses, dogs, and trailered them back to Wyoming, heartbroken that Ben was not found. The RCMP changed their mind as to the day Ben went missing, which they believe now to be on Sunday, not Saturday. They haven't released any information as to why. They do believe that someone drove him up there into the back country. So from the time Ben went missing to when his horse was found at 5:30 a.m. Monday, the window is narrowed to 24 hours. The searches that were conducted were massive. Kim Robinson was frustrated that the police were searching in the wrong area. He believed that Ben didn't come from the direction of Nicola Ranch. The police, however, did change their search area to coincide with the area that Kim Robinson believed the horse came from. Kim Robinson is a tracker and a seasoned hunter. He was accredited for tracking down a man that had murdered his own 3 children and ran into the wilderness outside of Merritt. The spring of 2019, the RCMP admitted publicly that they believe that Ben's case involves criminality. The RCMP would not reveal any more information. The Special Major Crimes Unit of Kelowna is now involved. The investigation seems to be centered around the ranch itself. According to information gathered from Ben Tyner's missing Facebook page, he did not bring his phone along with him when he usually would have. He didn't bring any firearms with him. He left his truck, his horse trailer at home. Ben left his dogs behind as well. Ben always brought Sue, his dog, with him when he was out on horseback. Ben's horse was fully geared. The rein was discovered on the ground by Jake, Ben's brother. It is a mystery as to whether or not Ben left his home of his own accord. Was Ben ever with his horse? Was Ben with anyone? Did Ben go on a stray cattle search? How did Ben's horse get onto the logging road near Squawcum Ridge? Ben's character was pretty stellar. What could have happened to him? He didn't have a criminal record. He didn't have any connection to crime. He was not a drug user. He was an even-tempered, responsible, mature adult. He didn't lose his temper. He was financially responsible with no debt. He was a man of faith and close to his family. He was very well liked in Merritt. He was not in a relationship. So what could have caused his mysterious disappearance?
Hello, I'm Richard Tyner, my wife Jennifer, my son Jack. We'd like to read a statement from our family and the RCMP concerning our son Ben's disappearance. Ben's disappearance has dramatically affected us. The last 2 years have been filled with horrendous heartache, continued hope, and many, many prayers. Ben is constantly in our daily lives through tending his horses and cattle and having his dog Sue trail beside us. The working pens on the ranch are known as Ben's pens because he built them. His friends stay in touch with us through phone calls and visits. 2 scholarships have been started in his name. Originally from Florida, we brought Ben and his brother to Wyoming at a young age. Ben has been around horses, dogs, and cattle since he was born. He excelled at horsemanship and was very skilled in leather making and whip making. But Ben was not just a cowboy, he was a voracious reader. He loved to experience new places and cultures. He spent time in Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, Montana, and Idaho. A year was spent in Russia importing cattle. He traveled to Australia to visit friends in 2018. A team player, Ben was always willing to do what it took to get the job done. He was there to lend a hand whenever someone needed help. He was always going to be a gentle giant with an incredible bear hug that made you feel needed, wanted, and loved. To have to live with Ben's loss is the most painful, excruciating experience ever. The loss we feel is immeasurable. As the second anniversary of Ben's disappearance approaches, we continue to have unanswered questions. We're constantly praying that someone who knows something will come forward. Our hope is that we can find Ben and be able to determine what happened. We know many local people have continued to search for Ben, and for that we are extremely grateful. A reward is available to anyone with information on Ben's disappearance. If anyone knows anything, no matter how insignificant it may seem, please inform the Southeast District Major Crimes Unit in Kelowna as soon as possible. Thank you.